What a morning, what a morning. Hear the larks? Oh, the lark in the morning, she rises from her nest, and at night she will return with the dew upon her breast. Well, hello groundlings, and Effie and I have been up with that lark. She's currently tugging me back down Wading Hill to walk out some of her energy that was waking me up during the night. And we've had the most lovely walk around good old Silbury Hill, round the other side of it actually, which I don't often go to. And I think I've got some really nice pictures that I'll put up on my Instagram. How are you? Well, it's not many hours since I posted. It's kind of feast or famine with going to ground, isn't it? I think what I was trying to say last night, which was a bit incoherent because it was late, I was very tired, is summed up by what Jesus says to Nicodemus in John chapter 3. Some of you will know that what's a famous bit of the Bible, one of the most famous bits of the Bible, where eventually, having talked to Nicodemus figuratively about wind and water and spiritual rebirth and how he can be born from above, as he calls it, or born again as it's sometimes translated, he says to Nicodemus, he kind of explains it: for God so loved the world that he gave his only son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life. Famous summary of how Jesus saw his own purpose and calling. But before that, this is the line that I'm especially interested in. Having talked very poetically around these kind of natural, elemental ideas of being born by water and the Spirit, and the wind blowing where it wills. You know, the wind bloweth where it listeth. Is that right? Blows where it listeth, in the King James. And he then says, if I have told you about earthly things and you do not believe, wind, water, birth, etc., earthly things. If I told you about earthly things and you don't believe, how can you believe? How will you believe if I tell you about heavenly things? And I found that a fascinating verse to muse upon in the last few days, implying as it does for me, and it's made a new impression on me, I think, that we can only speak about heaven with reference to earth. And of course, if you read any of the depictions of heavenly existence, eternal existence in the Bible, they're all kind of earthly things made weird, creatures with hundreds of eyes all over them or whatever, They're landscapes, silver shining cities and rivers of life, and they're amplified, kind of amped up earthly locations. Of course they are, because we can't refer to heavenly things without reference to earthly things. And Jesus's parables of the kingdom, he always likens it to an earthly thing. He almost never, I'm struggling to think of an example where I guess he describes the kingdom of heaven as within you and drawing near. He talks about its proximity and its location kind of elusively just ahead of you, like the barn owl down the fence post. As you walk closer to it, off it goes a little bit further away. But principally, he speaks about it metaphorically. How shall I describe the kingdom of heaven, and to what shall I liken it? He only ever likens it to seed growing quietly, or to yeast working through a batch of dough, or a pearl of great price, or treasure hidden in a field. It's an earthly thing, through which he speaks of something that transcends earth, but doesn't leave it behind. I think that's the point. And that really was what I was trying to get at in my musings around Bonhoeffer last night. So I thought I'd pick up on that because I was recalling that verse from Jesus when Nicodemus visits him at night as being quite a useful way of crystallizing it, really. So enjoy the morning if you can, and God bless you as you go to ground.